Donald Trump is raking in millions of dollars while he prepares for next week's CNN debate with Joe Biden. At the same time, his lawyers in Florida are trying to get his classified documents court case dismissed.
From the cash to the courts, Friday is shaping up to be one of the most consequential days of the entire 2024 campaign. First up, former President Trump's lawyers arguing in Florida that the 40 charges against him in the classified documents case should be dismissed.
This is a classified information case. They're very hard to get to trial.
On the fundraising front, new campaign filings indicate Trump has outraised President Biden for the second month in a row. While Democrats are quick to point out that Trump still trails President Biden in cash on hand, Republicans predict the trend could continue.
When you talk about fundraising numbers, this is an area where Biden has had an advantage for quite some time, right? And Trump has been falling behind a bit on that front, and he has to use some of those funds for the legal issues as well. It seems to be being cured a bit.
President Biden is spending the day in Delaware preparing for the first debate next Thursday. It's a rematch from 4 years ago, but unlikely to be quite as feisty.
There are rules this time for moderation and for turning off the other candidate's mic when they speak out of turn or speak too long. That gives me some hope that the average viewer might actually get to hear a clear contrast.
This all comes as a Fox News poll out this week shows President Biden pulling ahead of Trump for the first time since October, leading 50-48.
Let's head to the United States right now. Joining me live is US political analyst Aidan Smith, and that poll is very interesting. 2 points clear in that poll. It shows a very definite shift.
Definitely. And I think that someone actually remarked that a lot of the general consensus now in the past few months, really since mid-2023, has been that Trump is very likely to win the election. And that's something that I myself has expressed in all likelihood. Someone actually cleverly pointed out that this has been the closest thing to a consensus since 2016, when the consensus going through it was that Hillary would win. And I think that what we're really seeing in the polls now, just as in 2016, the Clinton camp dismissed a lot of favorable polling for Trump as, just noise that they don't really have to pay attention to. I think there is a lot of disbelief among Republicans and even some pessimistic Democrats about polls in Biden's favor. There's kind of the sense that Biden has had a really low-key presidency and that voters frustrated by inflation are likely to go forward with voting for Trump. But there is evidence, I think, also looking down ballot that Democrats are a lot stronger than, it might seem. So I think it really is just a coin toss of a toss-up election at this point.
Do you think the conviction has caused more damage than many people thought?
I think so. And, I think this is something where, Mr. Trump has been on the political scene in the forefront of it, obviously, for quite a long time, but especially in almost 9 years since he first ran for president in 2015. The rules basically surrounding, his Teflon Don reputation has kind of created an atmosphere where people have a tendency to overcorrect. And, what I mean is, in any other instance, when it's a candidate who is facing this level of legal scrutiny, is convicted on this many charges, it's assumed that it would doom their campaign. Since Trump has always had a way of, there's a little joke about Mr. Trump wiggling his way out of this one. A lot of people overcorrected, I think, and concluded, oh no, not only will this not hurt him, it will actually help him because people will rally around his cause. To me, I think that, sure, among his Republican base, there's definitely a lot of sympathy for him who believe his defense in these cases. For just a common swing voter, at some level or another, if you hear a candidate's been convicted of offenses, it's definitely going to hurt their candidacy. And I think a lot of commentators who are really contrarian about this and insisted that the convictions would somehow help him, it just doesn't really seem to be following through in terms of poll numbers.
It was interesting to see Jane Fonda come out this week and say, I'm older than Joe Biden and he's fine. Look, sounds good, but when you watch Joe Biden and when people commentate about Joe Biden, age and his health are his greatest challenge.
For sure. And it's something where it's always been a kind of a unique thing. 4 years ago, his main primary opponent, Bernie Sanders, was a year older than him, and he was running against Donald Trump, who is only a few years younger than him. So there's always kind of the assumption that, yeah, of course, Biden is quite old by political standards, but America is a country where we just had Nancy Pelosi serve as Speaker of the House until 2 years ago, Mitch McConnell as Majority Leader, all people in their 80s. So I think a lot of people assume that, Biden in this kind of unique political environment would skate by it. I do agree, though, that I think in the last 2 years, people have realized that this isn't just something that's in the background. The appearance of Biden seeming old definitely does hurt him. And it's obviously a strange situation since Trump is only a few years younger and is obviously very, it's a really unique circumstance. But yeah, I think with Biden, the main thing that his camp really wants is to see him go out there more in public, speak more with people to create a good appearance of, showing the same charisma as he had when he was younger, even thinking back to like the 2012 debate with Paul Ryan. But I think, that's when the debate will really matter. I think this debate actually might matter more than.
That's it. That's the thing, Aidan. Sorry to interrupt. That's the thing, because we're done for time. But that makes the debate all the more relevant, doesn't it? Because even Jon Stewart came out the other day and he ripped apart Donald Trump and where he is at cognitively. So this debate, the eyes on this debate and how it goes is pivotal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just your last comments on the debate, your thoughts?
Yeah, I really think that, like Stewart says, this debate, I think, will be more definitive than any. And, thinking back to 2016, where the debate really didn't have that much of an impact on the final outcome. I also do recall the 2020 debate and the infamous Biden's comment of, will you shut up, man, is something that is part of our political lexicon now. But yeah, for this reason, I think this debate will matter quite a bit in terms of undecided voters.
Sure will. Good to talk to you. Let's do it again a number of times before this election in November. Thanks, Aidan.
You.